Hello there to all Superfans here on Superfans Radio. Today we have excellent news. NF's new mixtape Clouds has been released, as well as a review by the one and only Anthony Fantano of the new NF mixtape Clouds, which is a glowing review. Today here on the Superfans fan channel, we will be reacting to the review, and also I will be saying some of my thoughts on the new NF mixtape Clouds.
To support
Shut up.
local restaurants, we...
Alright, here we are, NF Clouds, the mixtape review. There has been many new NF developments since he has dropped his mixtape Clouds. So many, in fact, that the Superfans have been busy and not been able to cover them all. But do not worry, if you subscribe to the Superfans fan channel, we will make sure that we are covering all the Superfans' latest news. Alright, let's get right into the review of Clouds.
Hi everyone, Branthony Draintano here, the internet's busiest music...
Do not be deceived. This man's name is not Branthony Draintano, but it is actually Anthony Fantano. He is trying to trick you and like you, just as he will try and trick you in his review of NF Clouds.
Nerd, and it's time for a review of the new NF album, Clouds. I will admit, prior to starting the writing process for this review, I had only heard some of his tracks. I was pretty well aware of the fact that Eminem is one of his biggest influences. I am also very well aware of the fact that he has some very passionate fans who ride for him undying.
That's right. Here at the Superfans, we are very passionate about NF. Anthony Fantano is very accurate with this statement here. We will ride or die for NF.
But regardless of all of these pieces of context surrounding NF, who he actually is at the core is a skilled rapper who's been honing his sound for years now, as he...
Let's go! Let's go! NF is not just a skilled rapper though, Anthony Fantano. NF is the greatest rapper who has ever lived.
He has dropped multiple meticulously crafted projects over the past decade, and doing it independently much of the time too. So I definitely admire the guy's grind. Undoubtedly he has done the work to earn the millions of fans that he has.
NF has the hardest grind in the rap game.
The question of a review is, do I actually enjoy the music? Clouds seems to be a pretty peculiar place to start in the NF discography. My reaction to this thing is, this is a tape, it's got 10 tracks and edit, it's over 40 minutes. Instrumentals are heavy, they're extravagant, some of them packed with lush orchestrations. There are features from Hopsin as well as Tech 9 on this thing. There's even a track based on an in-depth story around a convenience store robbery. He is putting a...
While this is true, that NF Clouds is a very good project, and Anthony Fantano is talking about this. NF's definition of mixtape is clearly album to the rest of the rappers, because NF is one of the greatest rappers that has ever existed. So NF's mixtapes are actually the equivalent of two different albums by good rappers like Drake or Eminem.
Objectively, a level of effort into this mixtape that some artists will put into maybe like 4 albums combined. And for one, I think he comes off pretty down to earth on this project. Yeah, occasionally he does seem to take himself a little too seriously. On top of that, he does rap in this really fast, aggressive fashion that's not for everyone, but...
Anthony Fantano is also spewing another line out of his stupid, smooth head. NF raps are clearly at the perfect speed for any sort of rap music. Rap is estimated by a talent of speed and lyricism, and Anthony Fantano does not understand this when he says that NF raps are too fast. And you have to be too fast to be a good rapper. Otherwise, you are not a good rapper and you are just singing. NF executes this perfectly on his project.
But for me, the biggest turnoff when it comes to these kinds of rappers is not necessarily just the sound of their music, but also the unnecessarily combative nature of everything they do. Look, I understand the confrontational roots of a lot of hip-hop, and I get that competition is kind of ingrained in the genre's DNA, but when you're sporting a superiority complex on your tracks and you're sort of trying to sell it as competition, that's not the same.
Anthony Fantano clearly shows here that he is not well versed in the world of NF. NF is awesome and one of the best rappers because NF knows no bounds. NF knows no boundaries. He has to make sure sure that he stands out from all of these stupid mumble rappers and poops on all the competition, including the mumble rappers' families and children and homesteads. Anthony Fantano just does not get that NF has to do this in order to be the best rapper and show that he is clearly the best. This is yet another stupid misunderstanding that Anthony Fantano makes.
Well, I do have my issues with this tape. I will say on a lot of this project, he just sounds like he's trying excruciatingly hard, which is cool, but despite that severe amount of effort he's putting into all of this, he just allows his pen game to get way too goofy. Like the cartoony slapping sound effect.
I have to calm down for a minute. Give me 1 minute. NF is not trying too hard. This is who NF is. NF is the most, excuse my language, NF is the most badass rapper that exists out there. So NF is truly being true to himself when he raps about these things on the project.
With bars like, "How could you call me unskilled? That's like looking at Mount Everest and then calling it a small hill. Born efficient, got ambition, sort of vicious. Yeah, that's me. Not artistic, unrealistic, chauvinistic, not those things." This is not the level of writing that, to me...
There is a reason why these are there though, Anthony Fantano. If you look closely at these lyrics,
The level of writing. It's me. Not artistic.
NF is saying here that he was born efficient, got ambition, sort of vicious, that's me. NF is also understanding how vicious he is because he has to make sure that he bites down on all these stupid weak mumble rappers in order to stand out as the greatest rapper that ever lived. This statement is clearly valid in the world of NF, and Anthony is still showing that he is not well versed.
I mean, I'm not too engrossed or invested in the NF trajectory or lore, so...
Anthony Fantano just admit that he is not well versed in the NF lore. Therefore, he does not clearly get why this mixtape is one of the greatest albums that have ever existed.
The instrumental is huge as hell too, with these grand strings and blockbuster movie trailer-sized bass hits. This
is also very true. NF music does constantly sound like it is a movie trailer with no relief. Every instrumental really sounds like it's a movie trailer. But this also makes NF music more cinematic and feel like a movie, which has not been done ever in a rap game. There has never been narrative just like NF does in the rap game. NF is purely the greatest.
There's also the track Layers. In an effort to show he has layers, NF essentially gives us a song with multiple flow switch-ups, beat switch-ups, style switch-ups, which conceptually is kinda cute. But the fact that NF can get topical does not always...
I'm sorry. Did you just call NF cute? Why don't you go hit up NF right now and ask what are the things that he is working on, and he will show you that he is not cute. If you look into the dark recesses of NF's mind, NF is clearly the deepest rapper that is out there. His mind is very dark and void, and his lyricism is very void. NF will clearly never call himself cute on a song. So your statement of calling him cute is actually very insulting to us as the Superfans, and also NF's entire family, and you should issue an apology. Issue an apology right now, or else I will cancel you.
always mean that he is sound in his reasoning or his song ideas. The track Paid My Dues is a way too melodramatic cut about people criticizing him and bloggers. Like, if your criticism of that is, I'm not interesting to write about, why don't you guys write about someone interesting to write about, then why would you writing about people writing about you not being interesting be interesting? And
NF is clearly making a warning message to people like Anthony Fantano, who will never get his music truly, and that you should stop wasting your time on a stupid 9-minute long review of how much NF is bad.
no reason not to have an open mind at this point, I suppose, especially since NF does legitimately come off like a very ambitious artist whose efforts may take him to an even higher place at some point. Feeling a decent 2 strong 5 here.
Okay, I take back my take back. Anthony Fantano gave NF Clowns a 5 out of 10. This is beyond unacceptable. Beyond unacceptable. Clouds is very easily... Clouds is very easily a light 9 to 11 on the scale of 1 to 10. Anthony Fantano still does not understand that NF clearly makes the most deepest bars in the game, and NF also has the most deepest flows and fastest flows of every other rapper. Every other rapper raps slow. NF raps the fastest, cuts the deepest, and has the best instrumentals. So Anthony Fantano is a fraud, and he does not understand the hype behind NF, or the work behind NF, or the reasons why NF does not have a dad. He only has a mom.
Transition. Have you given this a listen? Did you
Yes,
like
I
it?
have.
Did you hate it? What would you rate it?
I loved it.
You're the best. What should I review next?
Oh,
Hit the like
thank
if you
you.
like. Please subscribe and please don't cry.
I will not subscribe to you, Anthony Fantano. In fact, I'm going to dislike this video for you underestimating NF. Thank you for watching the Superfans review of Anthony Fantano's review of NF.